I'm responding to the true shape of the Earth is a flat disk centered at the North Pole. So his first secondary claim was our modern conception of gravity is wrong. The second claim was the Earth survey is not actually curved. And the last claim was the Earth does not revolve around the sun. So to respond to the first claim, gravity is the theory of Albert Einstein of relativity. This theory has been proved since very long time ago. Basically, when you let go something to the ground, it will fall. So there is no other approved scientific explanation to explain where this force comes from. So in order to prove one theory that is wrong, there must be a new evidence or research is discovered to overthrow the old theory. The evidence that he used of saying gravities have not been proven mathematically correct and is not accurate with subatomic particles, but there is no perfect explanations or any new research that's been found out to defeat the theory of gravity. The other point that he mentioned is dark energy. And again, dark energy it cannot be determined until now, which there is no explanation in science that is sufficient enough to change the theory of gravity. Therefore, we cannot say the Earth is flat because of the uncertainty of some particles or calculation, which happens all the time in science, until there are new ways of scientific evidence that it has been proven. His second claim that he argues was the Earth survey is not actually curved, which is not correct. The evidence that he used were published from 1885 to 1901, which are outdated. The evidence is somehow not accurate and trustworthy with the limited resources and technology at that time. His evidence, he used the evidence of Bedford level experiments that the experiments was performed incorrectly, and there is actually an adjustment of that experiments find out. So Alfred Russel Wallace and legitimate geographer and surveyor began to recreate the Bedford level experiments. In addition to relying on more than the telescope and his eye to prove his point, Wallace include the crucial step of setting a sight line 13 feet above the water surface so as to counter the detouring effects of atmospheric reflection. As sunlight travels to the Earth's surface, it's reflected by the planet's atmosphere, which causes the bulk of light moving horizontally to bend downward to an angle matching the exact curvature of the Earth. This phenomenon can cause one to perceive the Earth as being flat. And he also said ships are never sail over the horizon, which is wrong. Ships are actually sail over the horizon, but because the Earth is too big, human eyes stop seeing a boat before it sails over the horizon. According to Thomas Jamoliddin, the head of the National Institute of Aeronautics and Space, he explained that human eyes isn't all that great. It often plays tricks on you. For example, rainbows aren't really curved arches, and boats don't disappear over the horizon to reappear through a zoom lens. Your eyes stop seeing a boat long before the ship actually sinks over the curve of the Earth. Also, the distance of the horizon depends on our height relative to the ground. The higher up you go, the farther out your eyes can see. The third claim that he said was the Earth does not revolve around the sun. This claim has no relation to the shape of Earth. and the evidence he used of Tycho Brahe belief, which is against that Earth doesn't rotate itself. It is not a proof about the shape of the Earth. The Earth can still be round even the Earth rotation doesn't exist. So in conclusion, there is no evidence to prove that the Earth is flat-shaped.
I disagree, man.
All right. You went after the refutation issues, which are fine, about the way the advocate is reasoned and whether or not it is acceptable. You challenged a couple of the assumptions. Einstein's theories having been proven according to you, although I thought it was Newtonian principles, but what do I know? I'm not a science major, not a STEM guy. But the idea that there's an explanation for some of the issues that the advocate talked about, I thought that was fine. The notion that our eyesight is a little bit problematic, that the Earth's not curved on the whole second point. I mean, you go right after the experiment that the advocate cited. You talk about why it's problematic. You then give other explanations here. Which is all fine. I think there's nothing wrong with the refutation process here. I just think that you're missing, the low-hanging fruit here, which is rebuttal evidence of other information that demonstrates that the Earth is in fact round. Like, we got pictures from space that demonstrate the shape of the Earth. We have hundreds of eyewitnesses who've been off the planet and have observed it from a height much greater than anybody standing on the seashore is going to be able to observe. It seems like that would be some information that would be useful to make a response there. You're kind of going after the technical stuff, which is okay. I just think, like I said, that you're missing some opportunities there. Otherwise, it's fine. Thank you.